Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, it's the end of August 2016, and it's time for an EDC update. Lots have changed. Let's start off with some of the knives. Now, first off, not everything on the table is carried at once. I have alternated back and forth, but I have it all on the table so I can talk about it and show little transitions and tell you my experience thus far. So, yeah, let's start with the knives here. First off, I have the Cold Steel Finn Wolf. This is an awesome little folder. This thing is damn scary sharp. Scanty ground folder, which is very unique. I don't know if you guys picked up on that when I first talked about this. If you haven't seen this knife before, definitely worth checking out. I will eventually do a review on it. Right off the bat, I can tell you, it is frigging sweet. I really love this knife. All right, if you can get past having to touch up a scanty ground edge, this is an awesome option, especially for the price. So that's been kind of my main knife, but besides that, I've been carrying all the Walmart knives, as you can probably see here. There's 4 of them. All right, here's the wood one. We got the camo. Let's line these up. And I'm kind of just alternating between them. You guys saw this, that lockback, and the frame rail knife, whatever they called that one. All right, so kind of alternating between them. You will definitely see reviews on all of these in the future. Again, not sure the order of reviews so far. Both the wood knife and the lockback version of these knives have been carried the most, so I still have some time to carry this top one here and the camo one. So besides that, also carrying the Leatherman Juice. All right, you guys know it, the S2. Just an awesome little multi-tool. I carry this thing on and off. I've been carrying it on and off for probably 2 years now, maybe a little bit longer. And every time I leave it in the drawer or I'll leave it in the car for a while, I always gravitate back towards it, and whenever I do happen to carry it, I find uses for it. Yesterday I used the scissors, the day before I'd use the pliers. Occasionally I'll use the screwdriver. Mostly using this for the pliers though. I find that to be true with a lot of multi-tools when I carry them. The number one tool I usually grab is the actual pliers, the main, point of the tool. If I need a knife, I always have other blades on me. Sometimes I'll use the other tools like the screwdriver and stuff, but generally speaking, I'm in a situation where I can get a dedicated screwdriver that works better, but the pliers are always very handy. So, also, new neck knife. That's right, I had to put the companion to the side for a while because I have a new neck knife that I'm actually really in love with. You guys will definitely see a review on this in the future. This is a knife by Outdoor Edge, okay, very interesting. You can see that handle shape there. This has a weird retention system too, where it has a separate piece here that snaps on that retains that blade in there. Pretty interesting. All right, this one's called Le Duc, which you could tell the handle shape looks like a duck head. All right. Now, there's 2 different ways I've been using this. I get a nice 3-finger grip, and the pinky hangs out the back here. There's jimping on the back. It's very purposeful, very good blade. Also, sometimes when I take it out of the sheath, I'll naturally grab it down low like this, where I keep that duck beak in between the 2 fingers on each side. That's also very comfortable. This is even more comfortable. This is a really secure grip, but pretty interesting. And of course, in reverse grip, still equally comfortable, although I rarely use reverse grip. I'm not usually stabbing things. Sometimes for testing I'll stab something, but generally speaking I don't stab anything for EDC usage anyway. But yeah, Le Duc, damn interesting. I have to say, Outdoor Edge, they have a very limited amount of knives. They mostly deal in outdoor knife sets for hunting and stuff. But I have a couple of their folders I got recently too. I've only EDC'd them like 2 or 3 days, so I'm not gonna show them yet. But also really interesting. I have to say, I'm really liking the other offerings that they have. So yeah, I've been sporting Le Duc. Went to a family party, my in-laws, and everyone loved it. Of course, we were borrowing it to use it because no one carries a knife except for me. But Le Duc has been definitely a favorite as of lately. So that pretty much covers the knives, except for, I will say, you guys have seen my key setup for a while. There is something missing on my keys, which I'm no longer carrying on my keys. I'll tell you why in a second. And here's right here. There's that utility knife. Okay. The screw pop tool utility knife, and the only reason that I'm taking it off my keys, even though it works totally fine, I never had any issue with it getting loose again. That was one concern I had for a while, but with the newer generations with the magnet, just haven't had that problem. But it's just too long. That's all it was. It's nothing to do with its function or not using it much. I actually really didn't use it that much. Occasionally I would use it to open boxes, but even then, it's just, from my perspective, it's taking away from getting a chance to test my knives for reviews. So I took it off the keys simply because it was just hanging down too low, like this. Just poking my leg when I was driving. Really that simple. In the beginning, it didn't really bother me, and eventually it just, I don't know, got to me, I guess. When it was in the ignition, my knee is fairly close to where the keys are dangling. So occasionally, it'll touch me, touch my leg, and this was just, it's not sharp or anything, but it's poking my leg. So I said, screw it, take it off. No pun intended there. Screw it to the screw pop tool. But it is a good tool, and especially because the magnet version sticks on the fridge totally fine, and when I'm in the kitchen, I need a quick little blade. Instead of going with a neck knife or something, because even around the house, believe it or not, I carry my neck knife everywhere. People think that, when I get home, EDC comes off. Most of it comes off, yeah, when I'm hanging around the house, but I still carry my neck knife around, even if I'm in my underwear. And that is a fact. So let's move on to something else. Lighter, I have carried a Zippo for a while. I didn't take it out today because today's EDC. I was carrying this Bic. I was smoking a cigar, and I had the Bic out there, and obviously you can see here is a Rocky Patel, the American Market Select, and the band, I just happened to slip it over the lighter, and it fit perfectly. So it's working as a decoration, if you will, for my Bic. Pretty interesting. So I've been carrying that lately, although like I said, I have swapped back and forth to a Zippo. I'm gonna try to do some more Zippo videos in the future. I know Zippos and balisong tricks, everyone wants to see more of those, and they always wonder, why don't I do them anymore? Well, there's two reasons. Number one, I haven't stopped doing them, I just haven't done one in a really long time. And number two, I have a bunch of them posted. I have like 20-something Zippo trick videos, 20-something balisong tutorials. There are a couple tricks I can still show you guys, but I'm kind of just, I've been busy with other things. So I will definitely get to them, just don't know when. But yeah, you'll see more of that in the future if that's something you really like or look forward to. I'll certainly have more. But yeah, in the meantime, just been going back and forth between the Bic and the Zippo. I do occasionally smoke a cigar, as you guys know, and of course I still smoke pipes occasionally. More so cigars. I kind of flip-flopped. I used to smoke cigars in the winter and pipes in the summer, and this year I've been definitely smoking a lot more cigars in the summer. And come wintertime, I'll smoke the pipe again. What's nice about a pipe in the winter is that it keeps your hand warm, depending on what pipe you're smoking. But yeah, so you guys will see more of that in the future as well. As far as the watch, wallet, phone, all the same. So I got the Pilot watch. Absolutely love this. I will eventually do a review on that. Just awesome, awesome watch. You have to, if I'm not wearing it every single day, I probably wear it 6 to 7 days a week, really. I would say every now and again, I'll just I'll swap back and forth between that and the G-Shock. It doesn't happen very often, just depends on what I'm doing. If I know I'm going to be doing something like hiking, I will go with the, well, I say hiking, but what I mean is like an exercise walk, through a trail. Not actually hiking. But I will have the G-Shock on. So most days of the week I'm carrying this. If I miss a day with this, the time is just okay, but if I miss 2 days in a row not wearing that watch, then I do have to rewind it, okay? So it's something I'm very conscious of. If you wear it every day, moving around, you never have to touch it. It's self-winding, and it's really interesting. I love it. Some people don't like those automatic watches just because of that. While it's the same, still loving this thing. You can see just with age, it's getting darker and darker and shinier and more broken in. The saddleback leather. This is the fold over. Forget the style name, whatever, but it's just awesome. I still get lots of compliments on this this wallet. It's huge, it's fat, it's chunky. I'm just used to carrying it. Eventually, if I switch over to something else again, because there are a couple, kind of interesting tactical wallets I've been looking at lately. Real low profile, no frills kind of thing. I mean, they're interesting designs. I think they're kind of modern, but they are simple little wallets that hold very little. And I like that idea. But I just, like with everything else, look at the table here. I carry a lot of junk. I really do. I carry a lot of stuff all the time, so having a fat wallet with lots of things in it, it just gives me more options to carry more things. You know what I mean? And no, not all the stuff I'm carrying is necessary, but it's just stuff I like to carry. So I do like the bigger wallet and more pockets in it. Phone, still the same old phone. No frills. Going with the fishing bandana. because it's nice and washed and broken in. Over the summer, I'm telling you, between sweating and allergies occasionally, just going on sneezing attacks and stuff, you gotta have that, at least me, I'm talking about myself, gotta have that bandana. It's just the courteous thing to do when you're in public, not to sneeze in people's faces, you know, instead of sneezing into your, you know, your shoulder or your shirt, get snot everywhere. It's just good to be able to get that into a hanky, you know, if you will, and throw it back in the pocket. But anyway, besides that, let's talk about the flashlight. This is the ThruNite CO1. Did a video on this recently. Very simple, just on off, no frills. I've been carrying this with the included crab claw, and because I again have so many things in my pockets, I've been carrying 2 knives because I'm doing the Walmart knives, and I still like the Finn Wolf as like a main blade. So those are occupying 2 spaces in my pocket now. I don't like a lot of stuff down in the pocket. The only thing I've had is the juice and the lighter. So this is actually clipped onto the belt loop, you know, on my shorts. And it's been kind of hanging there. It's actually really cool. I really like it. Very simple. You know, I don't always use my belt loops. I have in the past multiple times for all different types of gear. But I mean, it's been lights. I've hung knives off of there before. I have a Zippo with a lanyard that I've hung off my belt loops before. Just, I haven't done anything recently. In the last like 6 months or something, I never really hung anything off of my belt loop. It just keeps the light available to me, but out of the way, which is nice. Haven't really found that it was snagging on anything or anything like that, so not a problem. So as far as guns, you can see I have the Glock 19 here. It's the Gen 3. Been carrying this lately. All right. So, been carrying a spare mag. You see on the table there. There's actually, these are the 15 round mags, which are flush bottom, and I have the, you know, +2 base plate on this one. So this one's 17 rounds. And I have been carrying with one in the chamber. Now, I want to get into the habit of doing that, as I talked about before with the Beretta, and I have carried that too. I'll talk about that in a second. I just, I've always practiced safe handling of my firearms. I used to be in the mindset of why not have, you know, an extra step. And again, a lot of people disagree with this, but before I was thinking, well, what's the big deal? You know, so what? I have to draw and rack the slide. You know, it's a split second. I can guarantee 110% I will never ever have an accidental discharge. I will never ever have an accident. You know, that's the one thing as a firearms owner that you're very, or at least most people are very adamant about is, hey, not accidentally firing when you don't want to. Very important stuff there. But since I got the Beretta as the external safety, and I was thinking, all right, well, I can keep it around in the chamber because I still have to, you know, move that safety out of the way. And my concern really was for hitting the trigger. That's the big deal to me is, you know, obviously people tell you, keep your finger off the trigger, it'll never go bang. And I've said that too. And that's true. However, shit happens. Mistakes happen. I'll tell you something that's happened multiple times while carrying the Glock with me in the past, is that even though my finger was off that trigger, in pulling it in and out of my holster, which I do every single day, because I carry my gun every single day, everywhere I go, that I can legally do so, I've had clothing touch that trigger. I've had my shirt actually rub on the trigger. I've had the trigger rub on the holster while I was holstering the gun. All right, so I've actually had other things touch that trigger. That scares the hell out of me because I don't want to have an accidental discharge. Okay, but as of late, I just I've been carrying ready to shoot, and just being extra conscious of what I'm doing. You know, in holstering and unholstering the gun, I just really focusing what I'm doing. I actually step in front of the mirror so I can see exactly what's going on when I'm doing it. All right, so it's just you know, being extra cautious, and there won't be a problem. As far as the Beretta, my original thoughts on carrying this was with one in the chamber and the safety on. Okay, so in order to shoot the gun, I have to pop the safety off. Then I have the long, you know, double action trigger. When I start carrying this permanently, because right now I've only carried a few times. All right, I'll talk about that again in a second because I have the holster in the background. When I've been carrying this, I've been carrying it with the safety on. All right, but I believe that once I get, you know, even more familiar with the gun, at this point I'm pretty damn familiar with it, but, you know, practice, right? It's not gonna hurt anything, it's only gonna help. So once I get really used to this, I will carry it with a one in the chamber and the safety off. Okay, and I will be, again, extra conscious not to touch that trigger. I will never personally touch that trigger with my finger. But again, holstering, unholstering, have to really make sure that nothing touches that trigger. It's not just about this. You know, a lot of people think, you know, just don't touch it, no big deal, right? Well, when you go to draw it out of your holster, it can snag on your clothes. It's something. It's a thing. It's a real thing. It's happened to people before. If you carry your gun once a month or every couple months, or hey, just a couple times a year you go into that bad neighborhood, yeah, maybe it's not a problem to you. But some of us actually carry our guns every single day. So that means holstering at least twice a day. Taking it in and out of the holster at least twice a day. And sometimes multiple times a day. If I come home, you know, I'm not walking around the house with my gun generally. I have guns all over the house, so I'll put it away. When I have to leave the house again, guess what? Gun goes back on. So you're talking about holstering, you know, holstering a gun and unholstering a gun multiple times sometimes throughout a day. Every single time I do that, I'm taking a chance of hitting that trigger on something, you know. So it makes me feel better. It makes me feel safer to have carried that way before. These days, I'm going to do it a little bit different. But, you know, changing the way you do something as far as a routine is very difficult. Okay, it's a slow process. Okay, that's why I'm not carrying this gun every single day. I have carried because I have to really be in that mindset. I have to have the muscle memory to do that every day and to understand what's going on and not to revert back to thinking, you know, I got the Glock on me in condition 3 because I'm so used to doing that. You know, so I have to really just kind of ease into it. And when I'm super comfortable and very confident that I'm aware of what's going on constantly, then I'll transition permanently to the Beretta. Now, a lot of people have said, actually, let me unload these guns again. All right, so I can show you the differences here. Okay. All right. So, the Glock and the Beretta, right? As far as size, you can see the Beretta is longer, and especially with the, well, let's put the mags back in at least. 20 round mag has that +2 base plate on there. It's even longer. All right, so to give you a length comparison, longer. Okay, obviously can't get all in the frame here, but if I line up the beaver tail to the back of the Glock, you can see it's a longer gun in both directions. It's also slightly heavier. A lot of people said in the comments when I said I was going to carry this, they kind of thought it was a joke, like, oh no, it's too big. No, it's not. It's not too big. The handle's sticking out a little bit more. You know, it obviously does that. It sticks out a little bit more. It's a little bit heavier. As far as the holster, I have this Ace holster. It fits in the holster just fine. I've been carrying it inside the waistband. What I like about this holster, it has this extra flap so I can tuck my shirt in, which I rarely do, but I don't know, in a certain situations, going out to dinner or some kind of occasion, at least I have that option. The holster's totally fine for now, but it's not the permanent solution. I do want to get a quote-unquote better holster, something that's going to hold it a little bit more securely. But I carry this probably 5 or 6 times collectively, not in a row or anything. It's been totally fine. The extra weight is not an issue. The extra size is not an issue. As far as concealability, the longer the handle, the harder it is to conceal. But I'm a big dude. I got a lot of side to work with. Does that make sense? And a lot of people say, you know, it's so much heavier, it's so much bigger, you're never going to be able to carry that. Really? I carry over 340 pounds now. 340 pounds. A couple ounces is not going to make a difference. In fact, even you, whoever's watching this video, even if you weigh 100 pounds, the difference between carrying, say, I mean, some people get so dead set on weight, you can carry a 3-ounce knife or you can carry a 7-ounce knife, right? And if that 7-ounce knife is just too heavy for you, how do you go about your day? What if you have a big lunch? How do you move around with those extra ounces in your gut? You know what I mean? It's insignificant to me, all right? I carry a lot of stuff every day, no matter what. So if my gun, if I transition to a different gun that happens to weigh, I don't know, 10, 15 ounces more than the old gun, that's like carrying an extra 2 or 3 knives. It's really not a big deal. It really doesn't bother me. It doesn't pull my pants down or anything. It doesn't change much at all. The one thing I will definitely say I've noticed when carrying this gun, and that's why I have to get a different holster, because I think I want to go on a little bit of a cant with the Glock. I carry it pretty much on a 90-degree angle. But with the Beretta, that beaver tail, it's great for shooting. You know, I'll never get slide by, keeps the gun, you know, securely in my hands. But that thing digs in my fat gut right now. Okay, now the obvious solution is to get rid of the gut, right? Working on it. That would be a good solution. But in the meantime, I got to at least get a little bit of a cant on this, so it can be more comfortable. Because the Glock, you know, it's flat. You can have a big fat gut sitting on that blocky, flat back. Never been a problem before, but I feel this. I feel this thing pinching and digging. So yeah, that's why I say another holster. Possibly have some different cant options. I can play around with that and see what's most comfortable. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's been the holster as of lately. The Ace. I used to love the Ace on the Kel-Tec. You can see how it really formed to the gun. I mean, completely formed to the gun. I know if I carry the Beretta in this, it will do the same, but this is not my ultimate solution. This is just something that happens to fit the gun right now, just so I can get used to it, just so I can see what it's like carrying it. And you know, so far I got about 450 rounds to the Beretta, so it's pretty much broken in. I don't have to worry about it being you know, reliable or anything. Since I started shooting this gun, I had 0 malfunctions. Not a single problem since the beginning. 450 rounds in from brand new. I've fed about, I think, 50 or 60 hollow points. Most of it was FMJs, so I do want to put another couple boxes of hollow points to there, especially what I end up deciding to carry. I'm gonna do some 9mm hollow point testing in the future, you know, compared to each other. So once I do that testing and I figure out what I like best or what I think is best, I'll go ahead and carry that, and I'll put a box or 2 through the gun as well to make sure it's going to feed fine. But as far as mags, I haven't talked about this, but these 20-round mags are some Metgars. Always had a lot of luck with these in the past. A lot of people talk about these being great mags. These are the 20-round mags. So they're the 18s, but they have the +2 base plate. It does stick out a little bit. Depending on, you know, what holster and how everything feels and everything, I might go back down to 18, you know, and have it flush on the bottom, as opposed to sticking out 2 rounds. Not gonna make a huge deal, or it's not a big deal to me anyway. But yeah. So anyway, that's been the EDC. Gonna do reviews on these Walmart knives in the future. Of course, the new neck knife, Outdoor Edge. I had the folders from Outdoor Edge. You'll see reviews on in the future. The Finn Wolf from Cold Steel. You'll definitely see a video on in the future. I have some fixed blades that I've been using, doing some testing and playing around with and stuff. I got fire making videos to do in the future. I've been doing a lot of fires. Whenever I visit my parents, they have like a little fire ring. Alright guys, sorry, my phone was ringing. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any suggestions, if you want to talk about stuff that you recently got, how your EDC changed, I'm always open to hearing that. I love reading the comments. I don't always get a chance to reply back, you know, to every single comment, but I do read them. So, you know, you got something on your mind, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'll be sure to see it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.